Hey and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will show you how you can legally increase the depreciation of your rental property in Germany by adjusting the so-called Restnutzungsdauer, or also called the remaining lifetime. This is one of the most powerful tax strategies for real estate investors in Germany. It can save you thousands in taxes every year, and yet almost nobody talks about it. Here's what you can expect in this video. First, I'll explain how depreciation works in Germany using a simple example. Next, I'll show you how adjusting the remaining lifetime increases your yearly tax deductions. Next, I'll explain to you what you need for this, such as the Gutachten or an official valuation report, what costs are associated with that, and then also how you can get a €100 discount through my cooperation partner. And finally, I'll walk you through how to fill out the form in order to order the Gutachten step by step. If you want to increase your after-tax cash flow legally and sustainably, this is a strategy you need to understand. So now let's get into it. Let's start with a simple analogy. If you buy a laptop for your business, you don't write off the full costs in the first year. Instead, you depreciate it over several years. The same applies to real estate. When you buy a rental property in Germany, the value of the building, not the land, is depreciated over time. By default, that period is set to 50 years. So you can deduct 2% of the building value each year. If the building portion of your purchase, that is the price you pay only for the building's value and not the land, is let's say €150,000, that means €3,000 of deductions each year. And that lowers your taxable income and lowers your taxes. But here's the thing, most older buildings won't actually last for 50 years. So why are you only writing off 2%? And this is where the Restnutzungsdauer, or the remaining lifetime, comes in. For this, you need an official Gutachten, a building valuation report by a certified expert, and they will assess the property, its condition, materials, past renovations, and determine the actual remaining lifetime. As a note, no, the certified expert doesn't have to come to your property to actually evaluate it. They do that by obtaining all of the relevant documentation and photos. Once you have this report, you submit it to your tax advisor, and they apply the new depreciation rate, which is set in that valuation report. The remaining lifetime obviously depends on the property and its current condition, right? But just to give you an example, I recently bought 2 properties in the Black Forest, which were both in the same building. This building was built in the early 1930s and recently only got renovated in like the 70s. So it's rather in a really old and I would say bad condition. And that's why I then did this Gutachten, and that actually stated that the remaining lifetime of my building is actually only 12 years instead of 50, increasing my depreciation substantially, specifically from 2, which is, as I said, the general or the average, to 8%. And by that, I got an additional €500 per month for each of the 2 apartments, which means that I get over €1,000 in tax benefits just for these 2 units per month. Now let's get back to the Finanzamt, or the tax agency. The tax agency usually must accept these reports if they are made from a certified expert. Some local tax agencies are getting into bigger discussions at the moment with investors. In some cases actually went to the highest court, meaning the Federal Finance Court. And in all of these cases which have been brought to that court, the court has actually ruled that the local tax agencies must accept these evaluation reports, and thus the remaining lifetime stated in these respective reports. Now, an evaluation report like this, or the Gutachten as we say here in Germany, typically costs around €800 to €900. There are a couple of providers out there which can offer this service for you, but if you work with the partner I have worked with in the past couple of years, you get a €100 discount by using my personal code. So if you use the code expat in this form, we'll go through it here in a second, you can get a €100 discount on the typical price of €799. For this, just make sure that you put the word expat into this form. Considering how much you can save in taxes every year, this is the best one-time investments you can make as a property owner. Now, when does it actually make sense for you to get one of these evaluation reports for your property? If you own a property which was built before 1990, I would say it's definitely worth looking into it. In addition, obviously, if there haven't been any bigger renovations in the past year, then this is also a good indication that one of these evaluation reports might be beneficial for you. Just as a rule of thumb, I would say that if the building was built in like the 1970s, it's definitely going to be worth it for you to get one of these evaluation reports, as the remaining lifetime is then significantly lower than the usual 50 years. And then on the contrary, of course, it's not relevant for the newly built or fully renovated properties, where the standard 50-year schedule is still realistic. But for older buildings, as I said, this is a completely legal way to increase your deductions significantly. And now let me show you exactly how you can order this Gutachten or evaluation report. And for this, you could just type in the URL directly, immobewertung-hannover.de. This is basically his website, right? And then if you click on Restnutzungsdauer, you are being brought to this site here. And then, I mean, if you're interested in it, make sure to read through it. If you know this stuff already, you can obviously skip all of this. Then again, it shows you the usual price, 799 euros. That's the usual price. As I said, you can get a 100 euro discount if you use the code expat in the form, which I will show you here in a second. You just click on Online beantragen, and then it takes you to this site here. You type in your basic information, right? Your name, your address, phone number, email address, and then also the address of the property itself, right? Then you can skip this part, as you want to get this report for today, right? Then you usually just type in it's a Eigentumswohnung, or like a small, or rather just regular apartment or unit. It's not a house, for example. Then you type in how many levels there are in this building, whether that's 3, 4, or whatever. Then you type in how many units are actually in this building, how it's being heated up, what the construction year was, what the amount of the square meters are. Then they're going to ask you a little bit more about what has been renovated or improved in the last couple of years. So that is, of course, very specific to the property itself as well. So type all of that in, and you can see it here, right? It's just asking when has the bathroom been renovated, what about the outer walls, what about the heating system, and so on. So just make sure to describe everything as precisely as possible, and also indicate the year in which that actually took place. Then you can also write a small description here, and then in this case here, wie sind Sie auf uns aufmerksam geworden? How did you sort of find this website or this certified expert? And then you can just type in YouTube Hans German Realty. Then the next couple of points you don't have to fill out unless you also want to get another type of Gutachten or evaluation report, which I don't think you need to get at the moment. Then what's also very important is that you upload photos of the property from the inside and also from the outside of the building, and then also other relevant documentation such as the Grundbuchauszug, Energieausweis, Grundrisse, meaning all kinds of plans you have available, all of the documentation you got whenever you purchased the apartment or the house, and then you upload it here accordingly. Then after having uploaded all of the relevant documentation, you go down here, and in this bracket it basically says that you can enter this code, expat, which you are going to use to get the discount on the next page. So if we go down a little bit further, as I said, you can get the Restnutzungsdauer Gutachten usually for the price of 799 euros. However, if you use this code expat on the next page, you'll get it for 699 euros. So a 100 euro discount. Over here, you're just going to sign the document or this whole page and then send it out accordingly. As I said, on the next page, you can then enter the code expat. And after you've sent it out, I would say that after 2 weeks, you'll get the full evaluation report sent to you. So that's how you can legally boost your depreciation and save thousands on taxes by using the remaining lifetime method. If you want to get started with this, click the link in the description and use the code expat to save 100 euros and follow the steps I just showed you. Now, if you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you're planning to use this strategy in your own portfolio. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Take care.